Greetings, fellow adventurers. Sorry I didn't see you there. I was just min-maxing my horrible loadout. I know what you're here for. I know what you want. It's written on your face as plain as day. You want the good stuff. The hard stuff. An RPG that'll knock your socks off, blow your mind, and leave you changed forever. I was once like you know. But look at me now, making sponsored videos for NIS America to tell you about their upcoming release of Trails to Azure when, heck, you and I both knew that's what I was gonna do anyway. Only now I have the budget for this awesome tax-deductible jacket. Because just like me, Trails to Azure is here to sweep you off of your feet and transport you to a magical world of Zemuria into the turbulent times ahead for Crossbell.
As the fifth main entry in this beloved Trails series, Trails to Azure continues the story of Trails from Zero, following Lloyd Bannings, a member of the Crossbell Police Department's Special Support Section, as he investigates a series of mysterious incidents, monster appearances, and events that threaten Crossbell's autonomy. But this game is not just any ordinary RPG. It's a love letter to fans of the series, weaving together the stories and characters of previous entries with the new ones that will leave you yearning for more.
And if you loved Trails from Zero, and let's face it, we both know you did, Trails to Azure will absolutely drive you wild with its revelations, plot twists, and of course, barriers to get over. But don't just take my word for it. Let's dive into the details.
The Trails series is, at this point, well renowned for its complex and interconnected storytelling and memorable characters, which builds upon the events and characters from previous games in the series. As such, Trails to Azure is incredibly important within the context of the Trails series, as it continues the story of characters and events from Trails in the Sky, and also Trails from Zero, while also introducing new characters and storylines that will be further explored in future games. But we'll get into that in a moment. If you started with Trails of Cold Steel, as so many others have, you may already know some of the events of the Crossbell arc, including events surrounding the trade conference, but there's so much more going on that casts Erbonia in a wildly different light.
And if you haven't already played Zero and Azure, you're only getting half the story.
NIS America is the publisher responsible for officially bringing Trails to Azure to players in the West, and as with Trails from Zero, are continuing to work with the Geofront team's initial work, which was already an incredibly polished labor of love in its own right, but have worked tirelessly to further refine upon the project. In addition, players of Trails to Azure will be treated to full Japanese voice acting of all of the main storyline events, allowing you to fully immerse yourself in the game's story and dialogue, providing flavor, intonation, and gravitas to every line of dialogue.
And this way you don't have to worry about going through the hassle of jumping through ridiculous hoops just to buy the game, or to track down hard-to-find files to figure out how to apply patches. In this NIS America localization, it's almost too easy to lose yourself in one of the greatest stories ever told. Almost. And yet, the improvements don't stop there.
NIS America are enhancing this port even further in collaboration with Durante to bring the once PC-exclusive enhancements to the Nintendo Switch version of the game. You can now enjoy Trails to Azure with even higher resolution textures and character sprites, as well as improved lighting and enhanced water effects. And for those like me who missed the auto advance feature in previous releases, fear not! It was later patched into Zero, and this time it's been baked into the localization of Trails to Azure from the start. Being able to sit back and soak in the dialogue is nothing short of breathtaking.
レベッカさん、お疲れ様です。
ご無沙汰していました。 特務支援課再始動ですね。
As with most Trails games I've had the pleasure of playing so far, the worst part of playing Trails to Azure has always been having to eventually put it down for the interruptions of everyday life, like having meals, going to work, sleeping, and so on. So now, being able to take Azure with you everywhere on the Nintendo Switch will make it even harder for your friends and family to pry this game from your death grip. After all, Tio, Lloyd, Randy and Ellie, and Kia are not only your real friends and family now, they're also your inevitable future.
Oh, and speaking of future games, the excitement doesn't end with Trails to Azure, oh no. This next chapter in the Trails series, Trails into Reverie, known as Hajimari no Kiseki in Japan, is just around the corner. And this highly anticipated 8th main entry in the series takes place in the aftermath of a great war, following the stories of several protagonists as they navigate the world on the brink of chaos. So, you'll need to be up to date on both Cold Steel and Crossbell arcs to get the absolute most out of Reverie. In Trails into Reverie, players will be able to experience the story from the perspectives of Reen Schwarzer, Lloyd Bannings, and a mysterious third protagonist known only as C. Each character will have their own unique storyline and perspectives on the events of the game. Trails of Reverie continues that series' tradition of complex, interconnected storytelling with events and characters from previous games interwoven with new ones, and breathtaking gameplay and a host of irresistible new features. This game is sure to satisfy.
And as a final note, let me just say that the Trails series has a special place in my heart. From its sprawling storytelling and vivid world building, its memorable, lovable characters, to its addicting and strategic combat, and of course, that never-ending pursuit of the S-rank. Trails never fails to amaze me. Above all else, Trails to Azure is an extremely fun and emotionally moving game to play. The captivating story it weaves will keep players entertained and sucked in for hours on end. And knowing now that it helps set the stage for Trails into Reverie has me even more excited for Reverie. I have no doubts that we'll continue this legacy and deliver an unforgettable gaming experience. So don't delay any longer. Sometimes it's okay to give in to temptation. Prepare for the Ides of March by pre-ordering Trails to Azure, coming out on March 14th, and get yourself ready for the conclusion of an epic adventure. That way, you'll be primed for the excitement of Trails into Reverie coming in July.